In this video, we're talking about color grading, and more specifically, we're grading SLOG3 footage using my own LUT that you can download for free. Link in the description below. I also added a couple of tweaks to this footage to make it pop and look better. On this channel, I have two free LUTs that I'm giving away for free. One of them is the SLOG conversion LUT, and the other one is the RE Cinema Green LUT. Both of these LUTs has this RE look, but the Cinema Green LUT has greens in the shadows and a little bit more contrast. The other one is only a conversion LUT, which will convert your footage from SLOG3 to Rec 709. So it will bring back colors, but it also brings in a little bit of that RE roll off in the highlights and stuff like that. So these LUTs are really good. I use them a lot myself, so I'm really stoked about these LUTs. Anyway, my name is Christian. If this is your first time checking out my channel, thank you so much for stopping by. And if you've been here before, thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it. We are almost at 1,000 followers or subscribers, and I really appreciate it. Let's go. Alright, so this is SLOG3 footage straight out of my Sony a7 IV, and as you can see here, I'm using the Luma waveform to help me a little bit with the exposure and grading this clip. Now, the first thing I always do when I color grade with LUTs is I go in here, I write in LUTs, I drag this custom LUT box on top of my footage, and then I will get this custom LUT box right here, which allows me to upload any LUT that I want to. In this case, I'm using my SLOG3 to RE conversion LUT, and this is how it looks. Boom. So as you can see here, I've got back a lot of saturation and contrast, and the image is looking way better already. This is the before and after using my LUT. As you can see, it's still a little bit washed out, and we have some more work to do to make this image look better. So I just want to show you guys how this RE Cinema Green LUT looks as well. And it's pretty similar, but as you can see, it's a little bit more contrasty, and it has a lot of greens in the shadows, like I said in the beginning of this video. I will talk a little bit more about this RE Cinema Green LUT later on this video, so stick around to the end. Now, next thing I do is to add a color wheel. And then I actually want to drag down the shadows, I want to drag down the highlights a little bit, and I want to drag the midtones just a little bit up, as you can see here. I also drag up the overall exposure by pulling this global up, and then I add saturation in the global, which means I'm adding saturation in the whole image, and also adding saturation in the shadows. And I'm also bringing a little bit blues to the shadows by dragging this knob a little bit in the middle here down, just a little bit, not so much. As you can see here, I'm also changing the temperature a little bit because I wanted to warm it up a little bit. In Final Cut Pro, the temperature slider is not so good, so I don't actually recommend using it that much, but it worked for this specific clip. This is how it looks with this color wheel. Boom. Looking way better already, but we're not done yet. So the next step in this process is to use the color curves. And the reason why I use this Luma curve here is to add more contrast. And then I use this blue curve right here to add a little bit of blues in the shadows. As you can see, I have 3 control points. One for the shadows, one for the midtones, and one for the highlights. And this is the shadows. I drag them down, I drag the highlights up and the midtones slightly up like that to add more contrast. And then I added 1 control point in the midtones, and I drag these up to add blues in the shadows. Let's see how that looks. Boom. This mix right here is pretty nice because if you get a look that you like, you can just drop the intensity of it. As you can see here, I have it at 0.66. I could have dragged it all the way up to 1, but I think that's a little bit too much, even though this looks pretty good like that too. But I left it at 0.66. So that is basically all that I did here. Next thing I did was to add vignette. You get the vignette in the effects tab, you go in there, write in vignette, and drag this over to the clip. So it's pretty easy and straightforward. And this vignette is also before the LUT. So that is basically it for this specific grade. Nothing crazy, but it looks pretty clean, and I like this look. All right, on to the next. So let's take a look at how the Cinema Green LUT looks with the same grade. Boom. A lot more moody and a lot more cinematic, more filmic look than the first, but you know, both are good in different situations. And also, this might be a little bit too greenish for some people. No problems. There's ways to, you know, figure that out. If you go here to the global, for example, and you think this is too green, then you can go in here and drag blues in the whole image. And boom, then now you don't have too much green, or you can go the other way around and, you know, drag reds in it so it's more warmed up. So there's different ways of grading in a simple way. Final Cut Pro is not the best software to grade. I prefer using DaVinci Resolve, but you know what? I like cutting up my footage in Final Cut Pro. It's easier to use in my own opinion. So I usually just grade in DaVinci when I'm grading something that I really need to get the most out of. But when I, grade for myself and stuff, I use these LUTs, or I use the Phantom LUTs, or I grade from scratch in Final Cut Pro as well. The updated version of Final Cut Pro actually has color adjustments. I haven't used them so much, but I think these can come in handy for a lot of people. Makes things a little bit simpler. So yeah, let's take a look at the before and after of this clip. Before, after, before, and after. Alright everybody, that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video was helpful. I hope the LUTs work for you. And if you have any questions regarding the LUTs or anything that I talked about in this video, just hit me up in the comments and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. If you like this video though, I would really appreciate it if you gave it a like, because that will help me show this video to more people. And again, grow this channel further. I'm planning on making more videos about photography because that is my first love actually. I shoot a lot of cars, travel stuff. So check out my Instagram and tell me if you guys want to see more tutorials about car photography, photo editing, Photoshop, all that good stuff that I've been doing for years. So I would be super happy to make videos about that as well. But I don't know if people actually want to see it because most of my videos on this channel is color grading related content. And again, thank you guys for tuning in. Have a great day. Peace.